we have not done anything wrong. There is no misuse of funds. If there are audit findings, we shall gladly respond. Sinabi ko na noon at ilang beses ko nang inulit na hindi ako ang problema ng bayan na ito. Ang totoong problema ng bayan ay kagutuman, kahirapan, iligal na droga.
Isang pasabog na naman ito para sa mga senador OVP Budget Hearing 2025. Harap-harap ang sinabi ni VP Sara Duterte sa kanila sa Committee on Good Government and Public Accountability, dahil umano at walang alam ang mga ito. Dahil iba ang pag-intindi nila sa witnesses at resources person, sinupalpal ng gusto nila ni Honorable Gloria Arroyo at Honorable Marcoleta. Mabuti na lang at andyan kayo sa committee. Ito pakinggan at panuurin natin.
To all the resource persons invited, kindly stand up and raise your right hand, please. Representatives and resource persons from the Office of the Vice President, COA, and DBM po. Thank you, ma'am.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, the Honorable
Yes,
Vice
when you
President.
sent a letter to the Office of the Vice President, you attached a copy of the rules
Okay.
in aid of legislation.
Yes po.
Yes, sir. Nakalagay po doon na witnesses lang po ang ino-oath. Sabi niyo po ngayon sa amin, resource persons kami.
Ang ano po, considered as resource person po.
Ang ano po?
Kayo po.
Kaya nga po.
Yes po. Lahat po ino-oath po.
Yes.
Apo.
Nakalagay po sa rules ninyo, witnesses. Nakalagay po dito ngayon sa table, resource persons.
Lahat po considered as resource person and witness. Lahat po naman kayo, lahat resource person pa eh. Wala pa naman po tayong tinatawag na, lahat po considered as resource person pa naman po.
Right. Opo. Ang nasa rules ninyo, witnesses lang po ang nag-o-oath. Wala po kayong rules sa resource persons.
Ma'am, ano lang po yun eh. Yung term lang po yun eh. Pero considered as resource person din po kayo eh.
Yes, sir.
Opo.
Resource persons nga po
Kayo,
nakalagay
witness
dito.
din po at saka resource person po.
Hindi niyo po sinabi na witness ako. Sinabi niyo po dito ngayon, resource persons. Ang nakalagay po sa rules ninyo, witness.
Comsec, ano po yung pinadala po ninyo?
Yun pong rules in aid of legislation.
Mr. Chair, point of order.
What is the point of order of the Honorable Congressman
This issue about
Mapagal?
witness, resource person, etc., etc.
Ma'am, pakilakas lang po, hindi po marinig.
And accused has been taken up in previous legislative inquiries in aid of legislation. I want to quote a December 8, 2008 hearing in the Senate, where Senator Miriam Defensor Santiago had an opinion on a similar situation, but she quoted a Supreme Court ruling. So the Constitution provides that no person shall be compelled to be a witness against himself. The Supreme Court has repeatedly emphasized that there is a difference between a mere witness and the accused. And it can appear from statements and privileged speeches that there is that a person who is the subject matter of an adverse privileged speech is not a mere witness or a mere person of interest, meaning a suspect. She is in fact accused of what seems to be a criminal case for violation of certain criminal laws, including malversation of public funds. And there is a case quoted in 2007, Standard Chartered Bank versus the Committee on Banks, where the court repeated the rule that an accused occupies a different tier of protection from an ordinary witness. So, where the court said, Supreme Court said, whereas an ordinary witness may be compelled to take the witness stand and claim the privilege at each question requiring an incriminating answer is shot at him, an accused may altogether refuse to take the witness stand and refuse to answer any or all questions. So that has been a supreme, and then there is a portion, the court explained that the right of the accused against self-incrimination also applies to respondents in administrative investigations such as legislative inquiries in aid of legislation. So that is the point of order I am raising, and there is a Supreme Court ruling to this effect. Thank you, Mr.
With that, the chair declares 1 minute suspension. Recess. Madam Congresswoman Arroyo, may I know if, may I be clarified if the tenor of your point of inquiry is referring to the sub judice case or rule?
Referring to the sub judice case, but it is saying that when a witness, in fact, is in reality the accused.
Ma'am, pakilakas po ng konti. Medyo hindi ko po...
What he's saying is that if by the, by the nature, for instance, of the privileged speech, if the witness is not a mere but the person being asked is not a mere witness or a mere person of interest, he is in fact the accused of what seems to be a case including malversation of public funds. And the court repeated the rule that an accused occupies a different tier of protection from an ordinary witness. So from given what Miriam Defensor Santiago said and the Supreme Court ruling that she's quoting, we cannot we cannot just trivialize. Kasi you're just a witness, you're a witness. Pareho na rin yung witness, resource person. They are not the same. The Supreme Court says they are not the same. And somebody who appears to be the accused has a different tier of protection from a witness. And in fact, can refuse to take the witness stand.
Congressman Flores, you're recognized.
Mr. Chair, this is an inquiry in aid of legislation and no one is technically accused of any wrongdoing here, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, look at the speech.
Ma'am,
Look at the
please,
speech, Mr. Chair,
ma'am,
the privilege.
please wait to be
Mr.
recognized.
Chair, may I request a
Wait.
1
I will,
minute
I will,
recess?
1 minute. 1 minute
Thank
recess
you.
declared by the chair.
Yes. Mr. Chair, yes. Mr. Chair,
Session resumes.
Mr. Chair, may I speak?
You will be given the opportunity later,
Okay.
Madam Vice President. In any event, the point of the Honorable Arroyo is well taken, but we will proceed to the oath taking. If the Vice President refuse to take her oath, we will respect that. In the meantime, Comsec, please proceed with the oath taking of the other witnesses.
To all the other witnesses and or resource persons, please stand up and raise your right hand, inviting the DBM, the COA, and other staff from the Office of the Vice President, Your Honor. Okay, please your right hand. Do you solemnly swear that the statements you will give before this committee shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? I do. The oath has been administered, Your Honor.
Let us also discuss the administrative matters. But before we proceed, the Chair would like to recognize the Honorable Bongalon of Ako Bicol, the Mr. Marvin Joshua Palitik of the Commission on Audit, State Auditor 3, Honorable Marlene Primicias Agabas, Deputy Majority Leader, 6th District, Pangasinan, the Honorable Marcoleta of Sagip, Honorable Micaela Swansing, 1st District, Nueva Ecija, the Honorable Ricardo Cruz, Lone District, Taguig Pateros, and the Honorable Filimon Espares of Co-op NATCO. The COMSEC is directed to report to the committee who have invited and who have responded to the invitation.
Thank you, Your Honor. We have invited the Office of the President through email sent last September 13, 2024. However, we were informed that they use a different extension for their electronic mail. And then the Chief of Staff, Attorney Zulaika Lopez, Ms. Winnie G. Diego, Chief Public Assistance Division, Attorney Rosaline Sanchez, Director for Administrative and Financial Services, and Mr. Norman B. Baloro, Director of Operations Office, to whom the Satellite Office's report replied yesterday that through their executive assistant Nicole, that they will designate a representative from the central office. This is the same tenor of the replies from the satellite offices from Western Mindanao, Panay and Negros Islands, BARMM, Caraga, Cebu, Bohol, and Siquijor Satellite Office, as well as Pangasinan. May I also note, Your Honors, that the Pangasinan Satellite Office has read our letter invitation sent on September 13. They have read it on September 14, 2024, which was on a Saturday at 3:22 p.m. because the email sent by the Secretariat has a read receipt function, Your Honor. Moving on, this was the same tenor as well from the Davao Satellite Office, Cagayan Valley Satellite Office, Bicol, and Eastern Visayas Satellite Office. Meanwhile, Your Honor, for the Commission on Audit, we have sent an invitation to Chairperson Gamaliel Cordoba, and Director of Legal Affairs, Daryl H. Tonolete, to whom we have forwarded the letter to Chairperson Cordoba. Assistant Commissioner Martha Rosana Sese was also sent an invitation on September 13. All of the resource persons were sent invitations on September 13. Director 4 for National Government Audit Sector Cluster, Sofia Hamhemora. Supervising Auditor Elvira De Vera, were sent invitations. However, there were no direct email confirmations, but they verbally confirmed their presence. Yes, they confirmed their presence of their representatives today. For the Department of Budget and Management, we sent invitation to Secretary Amena Pangandaman on September 13, USEC Janet Abuel, and as well USEC Functional Group Head Rolando U. Toledo, but this was for him, it was on September 16 as manifested by the Office of the Department of Budget and Management, and some of them are here. They are here today, Your Honor.
Diba? We will now proceed to before we proceed to the interpellation proper, the Chair will recognize the Honorable Vice President for her message. Yes, ma'am. You are recognized, ma'am.
A message, sir, or my statement regarding the point of order. Message? Mga kababayan, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamualaikum, Warakmatullahi wa Barakatuh. Madayaw, mayong adlaw, kaninyong tanan. Magandang araw sa inyong lahat. The officials of the Office of the Vice President, as well as each and every one of our satellite office leads, were in receipt of a letter from the chairman of the Committee on Good Government and Public Accountability dated September 13, 2024, requesting our presence or that of our duly authorized representatives in today's initial deliberation with preliminary determination on privilege speech number 379. In view of the said letter, I am appearing before you today not only as the head of office, but more importantly as the duly authorized representative of all officials of the OVP. Simply because we have not done anything wrong. There is no misuse of funds. If there are audit findings, we shall gladly respond to them before the Commission on Audit. And if there are legitimate cases to be filed, then we shall gladly respond to them before the appropriate courts. In relation to this, may I just say that I take notice of the opening speeches and nasabi doon, there is a determination of misfeasance, nonfeasance, and malfeasance. And those are cases that should properly be taken in the courts of law. What we are witnessing now is no ordinary legislative inquiry. This exercise is a well-funded and coordinated political attack. This much is evident from the very words of the privileged speech that prompted this inquiry. A speech that simply meant to say, do not vote for Sara on 2028. It is clear to me that this inquiry is not about misused funds, accountability, or governance. Instead, it is solely aimed at discrediting my name and my office to prevent future political contests. I have publicly stated my reasons as to why I've chosen not to defend the OVP's budget proposal for 2025. I have narrated the issues I encountered in previous years, which can easily be confirmed by looking at the NEP, the GAB, and the GAA for fiscal years 2023 and 2024. Further, I have even shared the drama that transpired last year regarding the confidential funds. Hence, just as we have done last year, we again leave the 2025 OVP budget to the pleasure of Congressman Martin Romualdez. I am not asking for any special treatment, nor am I asking you to uphold any tradition. There is no disrespect. All I am saying is that you have the complete freedom to do whatever you wish with the OVP budget. If you feel that all the documentary submissions are not enough, then by all means, huwag kayo magbigay ng budget. Sa totoo lang, hindi naman ang budget ang punteriya ninyo dahil napakadali naman magtanggal ng budget. What you are trying to do is make a case for impeachment. Hindi naman ako kakandidato sa nalalapit na eleksyon. Hindi ako namumulitika. Ang ginagawa ko lamang ay ang pagtupad sa aking oath of office at campaign platforms na trabaho, edukasyon, at mapayapang pamumuhay. Sinabi ko na noon at ilang beses ko nang inulit na hindi ako ang problema ng bayan na ito. Ang totoong problema ng bayan ay kagutuman, kahirapan, illegal na droga, kriminalidad, terorismo, hindi na sapat na healthcare, kalidad ng edukasyon, kawalan ng plano ng infrastruktura para sa disasters, at marami pang iba. So, you may try to destroy me, you can skin me alive, and throw my ashes to the wind. But let it be known, you will find me unbowed. I will continue to serve the Filipino people no matter the personal cost or political intrigue. Having said that, I will not allow myself to be subjected to an inquiry based on an empty privilege speech, just so you can attack me and do indirectly what you failed to do directly during the budget hearings. I therefore request this committee to terminate this inquiry for its clear lack of any proposed legislation or substantive matter for discussion. Shukran.
The committee cannot rule on that because the committee already took cognizance of this privilege speech. Anyway, we will now proceed. Next, we will recognize the representative from COA,
Mr. Chair,
Congressman Marcoleta.
may I please raise a parliamentary inquiry?
What is your parliamentary inquiry?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The rules of the committee says that this committee only acquires jurisdiction on matters of nonfeasance, misfeasance, malfeasance. And under Section 2, Mr. Chair of the rules, there should be a prior determination whether or not these malfeasance, nonfeasance, and misfeasance are directly or specifically relating to the persons charged of this. Has this committee made a prior determination of this? And if so, when did it happen? And where is the order specifying that the committee has just reached a prior determination? This is very important, Mr. Chair, because the rules also says that after determining or making a prior determination, this committee will set an order, and that is the only way that this committee acquire jurisdiction over the person's subject matter of this inquiry. And that particular order of prior determination will set out the parameters. If I can make a comparison, Mr. Chair, in regular court, it is called pre-trial order, where the parameters of the inquiry, the presentation of evidence or explanations or allegations are limited to that set of stipulation. So considering, Mr. Chair, and I assume that there is no prior determination, I do not think how we can start the meeting today because we are supposed to observe the rules. I am referring to Section 2 of the rules of this committee, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Thank you. To answer that, Congressman Marcoleta, we have already ruled on the preliminary determination a while ago. Medyo na-late na po kayo. Now, with respect to your inquiry, that if we can proceed with this, considering that this is an investigation of malfeasance, misfeasance, and nonfeasance, let me walk you through. Let me walk you through the definition of a good government and public accountability. It provides that all matters directly and principally relating to malfeasance, misfeasance, and nonfeasance in office committed by officers and employees of the government and its political subdivision and instrumentalities, inclusive of investigations of any matter of public interest on its own initiative or upon order of the House. For the information of everybody, the issue on confidential fund is a matter of public interest. Lahat po tayo ay interesado, hindi lamang po tayo, yung publiko po, interesado kung paano po ito nagamit. Kaya yun po ang dahilan why this committee has jurisdiction over the subject matter.
But Mr.
Yes,
Chair,
Congressman Marcoleta.
Mr. Chair, under Section 5, there should be a record of preliminary determination. It says that the proceedings in the preliminary investigation or determination shall be recorded through stenographic notes. What you were mentioning are motu proprio cases. I am assuming that this committee started by way of a referral because of a privileged speech delivered on the floor by one of us. And so this is the main subject matter of this committee meeting, and to which we should first determine preliminarily whether or not this committee acquires jurisdiction. And I demand a record of preliminary determination under Section 5 because it says, upon termination thereof, Mr. Chair, the chairperson shall issue an order which shall recite in details the matters taken up. So what are the matters taken up, Mr. Chair? I think we should be able to comply with these elementary rules as specified in the governing rules.
Well, considering that we have yet to proceed to the interpellation, we are still in the period of recognizing the resource person as well as the witness.
Very obvious yung kanilang ginagawa na nagpa-practice sila o anong gagawin nila para sa impeachment.
Such efforts will prosper po?
Hindi ko masabi yan. Hindi ko masabi yan na kung mag-prosper or hindi. Pag nandyan na, sasagutin natin, then iiwan na natin sa Congress.
Ma'am,
Pagdating po doon sa mga binanggit sa privilege speech, yung gagawin nilang basihan for the, sabi ninyo ay impeachment possible, ano po yung magiging tugon po ninyo doon sa mga nabanggit?
Antayin natin yung articles of impeachment. Doon tayo magbabase kung ano yung isasagot natin dahil hindi naman natin alam kung ano talaga yung final na isasulat nila. Nagte-testing sila ngayon kung ano yung gagawin nila.
But how do you say, ma'am, na testing po ito for impeachment?
Oo.
Paano niyo po nasabi po?
Kasi nagsabi na siya kanina, diba? Determination of malfeasance, non-feasance, misfeasance. So, ibig sabihin, merong ginawang mali.
And you say, and that for you?
Bakit pumarap kayo sa mga congressman kahit alam nyo na kayo mismo yung iimbestigahan dito sa pagdinig?
Opo, nakatanggap ako ng invitation mula sa kanila para sa pagdinig ngayong umaga na ito. At marami sa mga opisyal ng Office of the Vice President nakatanggap din ng invitation. And lahat sila, ako yung pinadala nila na authorized representative nila. Kaya nandito ako.
Bakit hindi kayo nagdalawang isip na hindi lumalo?
Kasi no second budget committee hearing before it.
Para matapos na kaagad, para masabi ko na kung ano yung posisyon ko at ma-lodge na kaagad dyan na nag-attend ang Office of the Vice President.
Ma'am, sakaling ipatawag ulit kayo. 700 million na budget for 2025 na pinupose ng House.
Yes sir. Kung ano man yung budget na lalabas sa GAA, yun yung gagamitin ng Office of the Vice President.
Dadalo po kayo sa September 23 plenary debates ng budget niyo po ng House?
Hindi pa namin nagpag-usapan sa opisina kung ano yung gagawin para sa plenary debates, but we will let you know kung nandoon kami.
Ma'am, nag-coordinate po ba kayo kay Kong Adio? The budget sponsor?
Sumulat siya sa aming opisina at sinagot ko siya, sabi ko nagsabit na kami lahat ng documents na kinakailangan nila at iniiwan na namin to the pleasure of Congressman Martin Romualdez ang budget.
Ma'am, nung opening po nung plenary debate, sinabi po ni Martin Romualdez, ni Speaker po, na hindi daw ito tolerate ng House ang hypocrisy and
Huwag daw magturo ng kamay.
wag daw magturo ng kamay, ng mga daliri, kamay.
Misuse of funds.
Yan yung ginagawa nila ngayon di ba? Nagtuturo sila ng daliri nila, ilang daliri yung nandyan sa loob ngayon na ginawa ko daw.
Ma'am, kung hindi kayo patatakbo ng 2028, tatakbo kayo ng 2035?
Sandali, sir. Ang layo ng 2034.
25.
Ito, hindi ako tatakbo sa 2025 elections. Magpapahinga ako for midterm elections.
Ma'am, ang nasabi pala ni Speaker is yung hindi daw niya ito tolerate ang hypocrisy and evasion. Ano pong reaction niyo doon? Pero wala naman po siyang pinangalanan.
Malamang ako yon dahil tinatanong ninyo ako ngayon about sa kanyang speech at sinasabi ko kung ano yung ginagawa nila ngayon dyan sa loob, yan yung inilarawan niya sa kanyang speech.
Ma'am, you requested the committee to terminate this
minsan
hearing.
lang.
Oo nga, oh. Ma'am, you requested... Thank you,
Wala
ma'am.
naman na tayo, lunch break na.
Thank you, ma'am, for accommodating us. Ma'am, you requested the committee to terminate na po itong hearing. Why?
Oo, kasi yun yung posisyon ko. Nagpa-practice sila kung ano yung kakagat sa impeachment. Kahit anong gawin nila, wala talaga kaming ginawang mali sa Office of the Vice President. Yan ang rason kung bakit ayaw pumunta ng mga tiga-Office of the Vice President. At sinabi nilang ako na lang yung ipapadala nila.
Ma'am, sa next hearing,
Notice of disallowance. Sagutin niyo na po ng OVP yung notice of disallowance.
May 6 months kami.
When do you plan namin to submit po?
I think January ata yung... I do not have the timelines right now, sorry.
ma'am, sa next hearing nitong good government, attend pa ba kayo or enough na yung kanina?
Magdedepende yan sa kung anong gagawin nila sa loob ng committee.
Ma'am, yung ibang congressman nagsasabi po na wala naman daw po silang usap-usapan about impeachment. Sa inyo lang daw po nanggagaling yun pong impeachment na allegations.
Naku, sino tiga-inquirer dito?
Why, ma'am?
Wala dito? Kasi last year, di ba, lumabas na yung interview ni Congresswoman Franz Castro at sinabi niya na may impeachment at sinabi niya yung 3 na grounds for impeachment. Last year pa yun, ma'am.
Ma'am, I'm from Inquirer, pero clarify din po ni Congresswoman Franz na hindi raw involved yung leadership. Sabi niya po, hindi raw involved yung leadership dun sa...
Hindi naman kailangan kasi talaga involved yung leadership. So bakit siya nagde-deny? It's enough na pinag-uusapan ng mga members of the House of Representatives ang impeachment. Hindi naman kailangan involved ang leadership.
Pero ano sinasabi ng mga kaibigan nyo? Ongoing pa rin ba yung usapan sa impeachment? O paano ba? Ano sinasabi sa inyo ng mga close friend nyo dito sa House?
Ang sinasabi sa akin ng mga tiga Mindanao, ang sinasabi sa akin ng mga tiga Mindanao ay pinag-uusapan talaga ang impeachment. At kapag tinatanong sila kung anong mangyayari sa 2028, ang sinasabi nila si Speaker Martin Romualdez daw ang candidate for 2028.
Ma'am,
Si
amid all...
President Marcos, nagkausap na ba ulit kayo amid sa mga nangyayari na ito?
Wala. Hindi naman kasi kami talaga nagkausap niyan. Hindi kami magkaibigan. Unang-una, nagkakilala lang kami dahil naging running mate kami. So, bago pa man kami naging running mates, hindi na kami nag-uusap. Nagkausap lang kami during campaign at dahil sa trabaho noon, basta ngayon hindi na kami
Pero kailan po yung last na
Ang kaibigan ko talaga si Senator Amy Marcos. Kilala niya ako since 2012.
Pero ma'am, kailan po yung last na pag-usap niyo po ng
Nung nag-tender ako ng resignation, yun yung last na nagkausap kami ni President
Ma'am, do
Marcos.
you think kung si President Marcos magsalita para sa inyo on behalf of you, baka maayos kaya itong nangyayari dito sa Kongreso?
Alam nyo, kasi madami hindi nakakilala sa akin, pero mag-share ako konti ng ugali ko. Hindi ako humihingi ng tulong. Alam yan ng tatay ko, naging mayor siya, naging president siya. Hindi ako humihingi ng tulong talaga. Kaya nga kanina kung nakita ninyo, lumapit ako kay Congresswoman Gloria Arroyo. Sinabihan ko siya, ma'am, huwag ka na magpa-stress. Dahil dito sa ginagawa nila sa akin, kaya ko ito. Don't stress yourself about it. Yan din ang sinabi ko kay Congressman Marcoleta.
Ma'am, sa gitna po ng lahat ng ito, how are you po? How do you feel about what's happening right now? And you mentioning even about the impeachment complaint or possible.
Iniisip ko lang na kapartihan ng journey ko as a government official, yung lahat ng nangyayari ngayon.
Ma'am, sa tingin niyo po may hand si PBBM sa nangyayari ngayon dito sa Congress? Actions against you and the Duterte family. Sa tingin niyo may hand si Pangulo?
Ma'am, hindi ko sagutin yan kasi sarcastic yung sagot ko dyan. Next.
So, kumusta si Presidente Duterte? Kumusta yung mga advice niya sa inyo sa nangyayari ngayon na Bibi?
Okay naman ata siya. Hindi kami nagkakausap ni former President Rodrigo Duterte. Pero sinasabihan ko lagi yung mga nakapalibot sa kanya, nasabihan siya na huwag pa-stress sa nangyayari. Tulad ng sinabi ko din kay Ma'am GMA kanina.
Ma'am, may regrets pa kayo na sumama kayo sa Unity kasama si President Marcos?
Medyo mahaba kasi yan eh. It needs a sit down.
Sit down tayo, sit down.
Sit down tayo, ma'am.
Sit down tayo.
Opo kaya.
Anyways,
Doon sa baba, ma'am.
may basihan ba yung sinasabi niyo na this is targeted para sa 2028, hindi kayo iboto ng mga tao? May basihan ba yun? May plano na ba kayo sa 2028, ma'am?
O siya nagsabi. Yung
Pero kayo, ma'am.
sino yun? Yes, yung nag-privileged speech. Siya yung nagsabi
Pero kayo, ma'am,
na huwag pagkatiwalaan. Yan ba yung gusto or nag-aambisyon mag-presidente? Siya yung nagsabi.
pero kayo, ma'am, wala
Pero kayo ba, tatakbo ba kayo 2020?
Noong 2019, tinanong ninyo ako kung tatakbo ako sa... Noong 2017, tinanong ninyo ako kung tatakbo ako sa 2019. Tama ba ito? Noong 2019, tinanong ninyo ako kung tatakbo ako sa 2022 at sinabi ko na mag-a-announce ako kung tatakbo ako or hindi January 2021. Sinabi ko magsasagot ako January 2021.
Ngayon?
Sa ngayon, this very minute, magsasabi ako kung tatakbo ako sa fourth quarter ng 2026.
2026.
VP, sorry to ask this question. Nagsisisi po ba kayo hindi nyo sinunod yung payo ng tatay niyo about sa pagtakbo? Hindi nyo
That is a very good question. It needs a sit down. Bibigyan kita ng pakonti ngayon. Naririnig niyo si PRD, di ba, ngayon? Nagsasabi siya, huwag ka tumakbo, President. Ngayon, sinasabi niya, yan din ang sinabi niya noong 2021. Huwag ka tumakbong President. Kasi nanggaling na ako dyan, sabi niya, hindi siya madali na trabaho. Maawa ako sa iyo. He never said na run for President.
Pero ma'am, never again na po kayo to meet with the Marcoses. May sasabihin pa si ma'am, sorry.
Yes, I am.
Yes, ayaw.
Pero ma'am, mga never again na to team with the Marcoses.
Never again.
Why, ma'am?
Sit down tayo.
Sige, ma'am. Kailan niyo gusto, ma'am?
sa baba po yun?
Sa baba, ma'am.
Ma'am, last question na lang. You kind of turned emotional when we asked you kamusta ka na kanina and you not asking for help to anyone, even kay CGMA, kay
Kung
Ma'am.
makikita niyo, di ba, kahit asawa ko wala siya dito. Hindi ako tao na humihingi ng tulong. Sinabihan ko lang yung asawa ko kanina, sabi ko, maganda ka lang. Kasi sabi niya magluto ako, sabi ko, okay, sige, magluto ka lang for dinner.
Sit down natin, ma'am.
Kailan, ma'am, sit down?
Ma'am, kailan niyo sit down? Sharean na lang kita. Joke lang. Ma'am, sharean ko sila.
Ayun na namin. Ayun na namin.